So welcome back to DC Silver Age Storytime, and we're back in the Golden Age with more fun comics, number 88, published in February 1943, and Dr. Fate. The fabulous Dr. Fate became an intern to save humanity from pain and suffering, to cure and not to kill. Then came his great chance, the chance to save a man apparently doomed to death by 3 bullets, and the man died. Did Dr. Fate kill him? Did his negligence or ignorance condemn the man to die? Dr. Fate thought so until he followed the trail of Mad Dog McBain and learned the secret that lay behind the sealed lips of the victim of Dr. Fate. So, Dr. Fate, or I guess Kent Nelson, gets a call in. They have an emergency. Operate fast, Doctor, or an important witness against Mad Dog McBain will die. I know you are only an intern, Dr. Nelson, but there are no experienced surgeons nearby. You must save this man's life. I'll do my best, Dr. Roland. So he performed surgery on him. This man has 3 bullets in him, Dr. Nelson. I don't see how you'll be able to remove them all. I think my hand is steady enough. Nurse, anesthetic, please. Sure, doctor. So he works on the man. This is the 3rd bullet, Dr. Roland, and he's breathing freely. Ah, my boy, you have done it. The operation is a success. Ah, the pulse is weaker. Then the operation is a failure after all. He gives up fast. My clumsiness has killed a man. I am responsible for his death. You could try a little harder. I don't know. This cop comes along. Well, Doc, you did your best, but it wasn't good enough. And now Mad Dog McBain will go free. That murderer profited from this death, and I thought I made no mistakes when I operated. I wondered. So he uses his crystal ball to spot Mad Dog McBain and goes out to get him. Here's where we get rid of the evidence, boys. So they clearly killed the patient somehow. The police don't know it exists, and when they find out, it'll be too late. Quiet, boys. Here comes a nurse. We'll have to put her out of the way. I wonder who those men are. I'll see what they're doing. So they capture her, but then Dr. Fate comes along. Do all your howling now, Mad Dog. Soon you're going to be muzzled. So you're one of the Mad Dog's whelps. Well, here's a piece of meat for you, my fist. And here's a bone for you to gnaw on. So, of course, they release some poison gas. Bullets can't hurt me, but my lungs are vulnerable. So he's forced to flee with the nurse. I'll carry the nurse away from this poisonous atmosphere, then follow. I'd like to know I know what Mad Dog wanted in this hospital. Wait for me here, boys. I'm going to buy a pipe. I don't understand, Mad Dog. I thought you always smoked cigarettes. So he's got a plan. And Dr. Fate uses his magic ring to track down Mad Dog's kennel. This open door looks like a trap, but if I expect to catch Mad Dog, I'll have to take a chance. So he goes in. I don't see any trap, Mad Dog. Better get ready to howl again before I pick you up for running around without a license. A lot of dog puns. But he is trapped behind some invisible glass. Soap bubbles. They look harmless, but nothing is harmless around Mad Dog. Yes, Dr. Fate, those soap bubbles are filled with poison gas. Why not just release the poison gas? Why put them in bubbles? When the bubbles break, they release the gas into the air. You won't breathe much longer, Dr. Fate, before you're finished. Boss, it looks like he's making magic passes. No, he's not. He doesn't do magic anymore. They won't do him any good. Passes won't get him out of that trap. The jewel in my magic ring is hard as diamond. It cut through the glass like putty. So, of course, that's how he did it. Not magic. You fellows must be as mad as your boss. Don't you know that bullets won't hurt me? So a guy goes to try and smash him with a chair, but this is a tough situation. That's a wonderful trick, Mad Dog. It must have taken... Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. It must have taken you years to practice to learn it. So they roll out a barrel, but end up hitting Mad Dog. You fools, it knocked me off my feet instead. I didn't realize, Mad Dog, that you were trained to ride a barrel. So he continues to work over the thugs, including Mad Dog, when one of them comes up behind him. How do you like the pattern of that tie, Dr. Fate? It's red to match your face. Ugh, he's choking me. I gotta get loose quick. Hey, somebody catch me. Or catch me, somebody. You almost choked me to death. I've got to catch my breath and get my strength back. So, they run off. They've got too much of a head start. Yeah, they got to be a good 15 to 20 feet away. I can't follow them now. I've got to go on duty as Dr. Kent Nelson. I always dreamed of becoming a doctor to save people's lives, and now my clumsiness has killed me. No, I think the bullets killed him. I don't think you did it. And actually, the bullets didn't do it. That feels better, Doc. Yes, there's no difficulties bandaging a sprained muscle, but I wouldn't try a serious operation anymore, not after what happened last time. Yeah, just give up. So he uses his crystal ball again to track down Mad Dog. They have stolen that body, the body that died. Mad dogs are supposed to hate water, but this one is going for a trip on the lake. I'd better stop him before he disposes of any evidence. So he shows up. You were like 15 feet away from them earlier. You seem hot under the collar, Mad Dog. Cool off in the lake. We expected you to butt in again, Dr. Fate. Mad Dog got these guns especially for you. Man, they're using a lot of gas. Smells like poison gas. Yeah, what did you think? That ends Dr. Fate. Come on, Mad Dog. Climb back into the boat. Let's get away from here. This fight may have drawn people's attention. So Dr. Fate says, ugh, just enough of that poison gas to knock me out. But it saved me from drowning. It paralyzed my lungs, preventing me from breathing. I thought breathing was his weakness. Now he's saved by not breathing? Mad Dog's gone ashore, and I haven't got time to go back for my crystal ball and find out where he's at. How can Dr. Fate find the trail of the thieves? So he uses some dogs to track him. Hey, boss, thought that guy was dead. He's got more lives than a cat. Keep away from me. Dr. Fate, I'll surrender. They think I'm going to let the hounds get him. This ought to be easy. And he pulls out gas again. I know that a mad dog is poison, but I think I've got an antidote. He just punches him in the face. And you may be a terror to some people, but you're only a terrier to me. You thought you were sitting pretty, but you look like an ordinary setter to me. Hey, I don't like eggs. Jeez. So he continues to track Mad Dog, and they cannot seem to find him, but his magic ring is glowing. Mad Dog must be near, and he is up in a tree. Come on down, Mad Dog, and meet your canine friends. I ain't coming down. They'd tear me to pieces. Here's your last chance to confess, Mad Dog, before you go to the dogs. He doesn't know I wouldn't let them hurt him. Keep away from me. I'll confess. You know, there is such a thing as a forced confession that you cannot do. I stole the body to prevent an autopsy. The man didn't die from that operation at all. I was the anesthetist. Anesthetist? I gave him poison instead of ether, and I thought the man's death was my fault. Yes, Dr. Nelson, the autopsy shows that what these mad dogs said is true. The man died of poison, not of your operation. Why in the world would he confess that? It's good to know that I'm not responsible for his death. This gives me back my faith in myself. I know in stories, people, once they're caught, constantly confess. That does not happen in real life. Almost never. What of these mad dog? Will he pay the penalty for his crimes? He will, Dr. Rowland. He killed a man to keep him from testifying. But now the man's body will testify against him and lead to his punishment. No criminal escapes the penalty for the crimes when the fantastic figure of the man of magic gets on his trail. As a tonic for jaded appetites, follow Dr. Fate's adventures every month in more fun comics. It's an average story from this era. So one more Dr. Fate story down, all done, and a few more to go.